The following is an extract from the novel Knights Errant by Penguin in a Top Hat. Chapter 4. The Falling Donkey. As Violet walked into the lower quarter, she realised that the road had faded from being laid cobblestones to a muddy path, and the buildings became less uniform and well built. The mud sounded deeper and deeper as she ventured into the area of the lower quarter. She stood out more and more as she walked down into the east gate, each person giving her a curious look, almost all their eyes saying that she doesn't belong there. The colours of the outfits became more and more muted. Violet's hand instinctively found its own way onto her sword hilt, although it looked like most of the people on this road couldn't bother a goat that was tied upside down. She quickened her pace to the eastern gate. The eastern gate was the least impressive of the four gates, but the sturdy wooden gate stood closed with a bar the size of an adult tree lying across it, with 4 guards on either side. These were not the same guards Violet was used to, where the guards in the gilded quarter are wearing immaculate full-plate armour with large shimmering greatswords in their hands. These men in front of her were wearing rusted breastplate and holding unkept halberds. She paused before rethinking her choice to leave from this gate. Then, breaking her train of thought, came one of the guards' voices. What do you want?" "I need to get through this gate, soldier," Violet stated confidently, returning to her train of thought. "Sorry, lass, gate's closed till morning. The Falling Donkey's got rooms if you want to wait," outlined the guard, pointing to the large building just to the left of the gate. Thanks," Violet said, taken aback from the sheer brazenness of the guard. The guard limped his way back over to his post and slumped against the wall of the gate. Violet walked over to the building, and above her head swung a sign, reading The Fallen Donkey. The door was ajar. The smell of rotting wood and stale ale hit Violet so hard it almost threw her off her feet. The bar room was a large room with a bar at the far end of it, with one large older man cleaning glasses. The rest of the room was being mostly empty except for a large group of men all gathered round one corner, cheering and shouting. Through the legs of the men, Violet could see a small outline of a man lying on the ground. Snapping into action, Violet dashed over. Shouldering her shield onto the back, a large drunken man turned around to see the small, well-to-do looking woman running towards the group. Violet stopped about 5 feet away from the group of men, and could clearly see the outline on the floor was a badly bruised and sad-looking halfling dressed in grey trousers, a white top, and a small grey waistcoat. She spoke with a fearsome tone. "Step away from him, troublemakers!" The gang of men started laughing. "What you's gonna do to us?" spat the largest-looking one of them, taking several steps towards her. As he stepped up to her, he dwarfed her by almost 2 feet. Undeterred, Violet brought her fist into the gut of this large man. After this hit, Violet expected him to be on the floor, but he was still standing like nothing happened. "That it?" spat the large man with a grin spreading across his face to reveal several missing teeth. Suddenly, with unnatural speed, a large fist connected with the side of Violet's head, knocking her to the floor. After finding herself on the floor, Violet found a large foot rushing to meet her chest and pushing her back 5 feet. With a stinging pain, Violet found it hard to drag herself to her feet. "Well, you got some fight in you, little one," spat the large man. "Boys, show her a good time, will ya?" 2 of the group stepped forward to Violet. The first man, with tattoos drawn all over his body, swung at Violet, catching her on the left side of her jaw, knocking her off her feet. But after catching her footing, she swung her fist at the tattooed man, catching him in the ribs. On the other side of the room, the large man grabbed the halfling by his waistcoat, lifting him up above his head, and spits at him. "So what you gonna do, magic man?" The halfling looks into the large man's eyes and grabs his arms. Suddenly the halfling's eyes turn into a flicker of flame. The large man's arms burst into flame, dropping him, causing him to drop the halfling, and taking a few steps back, screaming in pain. The rest of the men looked on in fear at this halfling. Struggling to stand and spitting out a glob of blood, he spits. "You want some more, do you?" The large man's arms had turned blackened, and a foul smell invaded the dingy tavern room. Whimpering like a dog, the large man was brought to his knees by the pain. The other men stood there. Usually the strongest man in the room, brought down by a halfling, blew whatever they had between their shoulders. The most they could utter is, "We'll get you for this stunty," while running from the tavern. Violet staggered towards the bar. The halfling walked towards her. He opened his mouth to speak. "So that was stupid of you?" With a smile wide across his face. Violet looked towards the halfling, with blood running down her face. I can't." Suddenly Violet slumped to the floor unconscious. The bartender turned to the halfling. "You'll be paying for her room, then?" "I will," the halfling said. "Best send for a healer too." End of chapter. The preceding was the 4th chapter of the book Knight Errant by Penguin in a Top Hat, a YouTube special.